One thing that is undeniable is that you are, without doubt, the most socially media active public servant in the country. And I know you're not on Twitter, so Musk is fine. There's no character limit here. But I think anybody who follows Mike on LinkedIn, which is your primary platform, I think. You're not
only platform.
Yeah, only platform, knows that you take steps to really promote the role that you do and the currency across the agency as a whole. So tell us about that, because you were one of the very first and visibly proactive CEOs to get out there on that platform as a new DG. And I think actually as an acting DG at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I kept waiting for someone to tell me to stop, and no one did.
Okay.
So I kept going.
That might happen after today.
Look, I think it's important. I think it's important for public sector leaders to be active. I mean, I don't think we can rebalance any of the debates that we've been talking about. You know, like the role of the public sector vis-a-vis the private sector. I don't think there's, you know, we can't tackle any of that unless we get more active in voicing that. So, you know, I don't want to make it seem like it's really calculated. It's not, especially on a Friday night. But the things I use social media for are, you know, one, promoting the public sector and the ideals of public sector. I think I do a bit of promotion of that. I like to use it to thank people. Like I like to use it to give recognition to people within the department. But I also like to, and this isn't my term, it's someone else's, I also like to use it to build intimacy at scale. Or if intimacy is too much for you, familiarity at scale. Because I think, you know, the kind of the...
But that's a really good point, because there's the people that I know and I've seen them interact with you on that platform, and then I've chatted to them and I've said, oh, how do you know Mike? And I don't. I just see him on LinkedIn and we have conversations on LinkedIn, which is lovely. I mean, it's an accessibility that you don't often get as a leader. So,
well, that's the point. I mean, I think, you know, the second thing, I talked before about one thing that surprised me about coming back to public service was the timidity of the public service. The second is, you know, just how respectful people are of DGs.
Well, they should be, shouldn't they?
Well, they should be, but I can't quite get the right word. But it's like it's overdone.
Yeah. You obviously haven't worked in the education sector.
Maybe others have a different experience, but getting people to be comfortable with you, getting people to tell you what they really think, getting people to challenge you is actually pretty bloody hard. So this is never hard for Chantal Laura. She always told me what she thought any day of the week, you know. She's always prepared to take my ego out for a mow. But most people are too respectful. Right? I came from KPMG where, you know, leading large young teams who never hesitated to tell you what they thought of you, your stupid idea, the work that you're asking them to do. Something you learned as a DG in the public sector, and you know, you're flat out getting people to open their mouth and tell you what they think. So that familiarity or intimacy at scale, and some of the more daggy stuff I do on LinkedIn is all about saying, hey, I'm approachable. You know, you don't, you know, it's just, so I don't want to make it sound too calculated. It's
no, but being authentic and open in that forum does come with risk, because when you're putting yourself out there with opinion, then you are liable for somebody to want to take a crack, and we all know that social media breeds those people. So how do you deal with that kind of dissent that comes with the territory? And also, I mean, in Brisbane, we are one of those towns that is, you know, preoccupied by one of the newspapers, and they will often pick up commentary and use it for their own end. So, you know, how do you, what filtering, if any, do you have to adopt on a Friday night with that glass and that wine hand?
As I've learned, because, you know, Rachel's received complaints about some of my posts, as I've learned, on a Friday night, I just have to hand my phone to my wife and say, no matter how much I beg you, do not give it back to me, because I've been drinking and I shouldn't get on LinkedIn. So you can't be stupid about it, right? You can't, like, you have to, if you're going to be as a public servant, if you're going to be active on LinkedIn, and I'd encourage people to be, particularly leaders, you've got to be a bit deliberate about it. You've got to, there is a line. There is a line, and I think, I don't mind pushing it, but I try to stay on the right side of that line.
But it's obviously a good platform to air some of these big issues and get direct feedback.
Surprisingly so. I mean, I'm constantly surprised at how much feedback I get about it, how people engage me in conversation, in the ideas that I've kind of tried to promote on LinkedIn. It blows me away. I'd never, I'm an old bloke, I didn't realise that this thing existed. It seems to work.